Yo, what's up YouTube? I'm back here with another reaction video. Today we got This Couldn't Have Gone Any Worse. And then they got my boy, not my boy, they got Dillon Brooks in the thumbnail. So I'm assuming this is about him, the situation. I'm gonna let him break it down. And if you're watching this video, you probably already know what happened. But I'm gonna give my 2 cents within the video, after the video, all that. And yeah, let's get into it.
Just want to be the villain. Bill Laimbeer made a career out of being the villain. Kevin Garnett and Rasheed Wallace spent their entire careers terrorizing the NBA, and they loved it. Dennis Rodman's sole mission was to pester the other team into submission. Latrell Sprewell choked out his own coach. For better or for worse, the NBA needs a villain, someone we can all rally together and root against. And right now, that villain is Dillon Brooks. Or at least, that's what he thinks. Because this season alone, Dillon Brooks has managed to become public enemy number one by getting into fights with...
Bro, it's little stuff like that. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I think he really just does a lot. Like, he does too much for him not to be doing nothing on the court. But we're going to get into it, man. We're going to get into it.
Mitchell, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Edwards, Pascal Siakam, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, Chris Middleton, Draymond Green, James Harden, 7'2", 300-pound Joel Embiid, half the Spurs roster, and Shannon freaking Sharp. It's almost as if Dillon Brooks woke up one day and made a list of the greatest active NBA players and said, F it, I'll take all of them. This has to be some sort of NBA record. A speed run on how to be unanimously despised by everyone. But of all the players Brooks decided to go after this season, of all the great players he provoked and pissed off on his way to 6 points and 3 rebounds on 38% shooting, I think Dillon Brooks missed the memo.
That's crazy. Did he really score 6 points a game? I thought it was 13. But either way, like Alright, let me just get this off my chest. Let me just get it off my chest before the review even starts. He's not as good. He's not good enough to be doing everything that he's doing. If he wants to be a pest, that's cool. There are so many of them, including Draymond, including the Pat Bevs. Like, there are so many antagonists in the league. But he really is not good. And then he always does some extra stuff. And then when I really lost respect for him, he wanted to do all that talking. And then wanted to say the media painted him to be the villain. That is really, that's really sad. Like, there's no way he can actually believe that. And then, this is when I lost all respect. He has the nerve to try to say, actually, not say anything to the media after things went bad. Like, nothing. He just... After all that talking he did, after him playing piss poor, after them losing, he skips out on talking to the media 3 straight games in a row. He activates his social medias, and now he doesn't want to talk. Like, wow. Like, that's actually insane to me. Like, it's cool to talk trash. I love trash talking. I'm not that tight, But if you start with me, let's go back and forth. I love it. But people who trash talk when they're ahead, okay. People who trash talk when the score is tied, okay. But when you're behind, it's like, that's really when it's hard to talk trash, That's really when it's hard to say anything, to even own it. But the fact that he can't do any of that. Like, he won't do any of that. It's real sad. It's real sad. It's real sad. But I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna let the video play out. Y'all got my 2 cents. I guess I'll add some more cents as the video prolongs. But yeah.
On LeBron James, because this ain't the bear you want to poke. See, in the NBA, there is a fragile balance between how good a player is and the acceptable amount of annoyance they are granted. Shout out to June Lee from ESPN for this concept because it explains this duality perfectly. Now, the better a player is, the more annoying he's allowed to be. For example, Joel Embiid is fairly annoying, but he's really good, so he's way above the threshold. Giannis isn't really annoying at all, and he's the best player in the league, so he's about as far above the threshold as you can get. Right next to Nikola Jokic, and most elite players around the league fall somewhere in this region. Guys like LeBron, Steph, Lillard, Tatum, Butler, really good, and just annoying enough to make it fun. But this is a delicate thing to maintain, because when you're good enough, you can be about as annoying as you want to be, until you're not good enough and become unanimously insufferable. Ben Simmons is the poster child for this phenomenon, but Draymond Green and Chris Paul have also fallen victim to this as well. Really annoying and slowly declining in ability as the years go along. Now, some players have actually had an opposite trajectory. Not that good and extremely annoying early on in their career, but as their game improved, their antics have decreased. The redemption arc. You love to see it. But some players have taken it upon themselves to be as annoying as humanly possible while refusing to hold up their end of the bargain. Instigators who have absolutely no reason to be the way they are. Players like Pat Bev, Marcus Morris, Tristan Thompson, and even going back in time, there's been some absolute villains throughout NBA history.
Pat Bev.
And yet,
what
somehow,
he does
Dylan
really
Brooks
well.
has found a way to be worse than all of
size.
them. Never before have I seen a player who is as unanimously disliked as Dillon Brooks is. And of all the things the game...
First off, I'm taking all of these players, except Pachulia and Tristan Thompson. Like, they're not even in the league for real. I know Tristan Thompson just got picked back up, but I'm taking everybody on this list except Ben Simmons. Yeah. Over Dillon Brooks. I'm sorry. It's just... the way it is. It's the way it is.
Has to offer. Of all the ways he can make a difference and contribute to his team, poking the bear.
I feel like I'm hating during this video, but I'm really just...
Even worse,
I'm just speaking
he's
my
not
mind,
very good at that
honest.
either. Because even the worst villains understand that there are some players
D
you
Book
really
is starting
don't
to
want
get
to
real
piss
annoying
off.
too.
They aren't fazed by your trash talk, but they will
He's
ruin
a bucket.
you for
It's
trying
like-
it. These players
He's
are
going
on
to
the
shut
do
you up.
not trash talk list. It's an exclusive club, and once a player joins it, the league comes to a silent agreement to never slight, jab, or trash talk.
Curry
that
one of
player.
them too.
Now, any player can break this agreement if they so choose, but not without severe consequence. Larry Bird would often get challengers brave enough to trash talk him, and the result was always the same: humiliation and regret. Michael Jordan established his position on the do not trash talk list early on in his career, but that didn't stop the occasional lunatic from stepping out of line and testing him. Unfortunately for them, Michael had an unhealthy relationship with squashing marginal NBA talent into irrelevance. The result of this was always a career night for Jordan and a downward spiral of shame for the opposition. Kobe was MJ's successor on this list, and right when the league thought that no one was exempt from some competitive banter, Kobe picked up right where Jordan left off and never missed the opportunity to make another man regret his decision to pick up a basketball. How quickly can I make a man want to quit his profession? Well, let's find out. If you trash talk the players on this list, they won't just give it right back to you. They become obsessive, driven to make sure that you become acutely aware of the fact that you are inferior. It's psychotic, really. And among active players, LeBron is the natural successor to Kobe in this regard. Time and time again, over the course of LeBron's career, players have attempted to trash talk him, to get the best of him. And time again, LeBron is given no choice but to remind them exactly why that's the worst decision they've ever made on a basketball court. But unlike his predecessors, there's one thing missing about LeBron and his presence on the court: fear. It's been said by countless players across generations that opposing players feared the likes of Bird and Mike and Kobe, but despite being the most daunting force of his generation, LeBron James isn't necessarily feared. At least that's what some players say. This idea that as great as LeBron is, he isn't the killer that those players were. Which is weird because I've watched LeBron's entire career and I vividly remember this, and this, and this, oh, and this, and every other player who stepped out of line getting walked like a dog by LeBron James. Now, most players across the league know that this line of thinking, that LeBron isn't feared, is absolute horseshit. Dillon Brooks is not one of those players. And so, in an attempt to find some sort of value to his team, Dillon Brooks begins his campaign to annoy the hell out of LeBron, disrespecting him in the middle of games, calling him out in interviews, saying he's old, he's washed up. LeBron hadn't earned Dillon's respect yet. Despite Brooks' 5-14 career record against LeBron and the atrocious gap in head-to-head performances, Dillon Brooks was incessant, determined. It got so bad that even Skip Bayless, the LeBron hater, wanted LeBron to shut the kid up.
I seethe over this to the point that I want LeBron to destroy this man. Because
and for you to say that, that's saying something.
It's so out of bounds what he did. It's so uncalled for. It's so beneath the dignity of one LeBron Ramon James that
full name's
he can destroy this kid if he so chose to do.
And then to top off all the antics, Brooks drove the final nail into the coffin when he said this about LeBron and the Lakers leading into the playoffs.
But I wouldn't mind playing LeBron.
I don't know if that's the video or my video. Hold up. Alright, we should be good now. I don't know if y'all was seeing that little like glitch, but hopefully be good.
The legacy's there. First time back in the playoffs, knock them out right away in the first round.
And that was it. Unbeknownst to him, Dillon Brooks had just ended the Grizzlies season. The playoffs hadn't even began, and yet the outcome was already determined. The kid flew too close to the sun, and his fate was sealed.
That guy, LeBron James, set the tone and tenor of this game early. 8 quick points on his way to 25, 9 rebounds, and 5 D's.
And it's really hard
so
to
the Lakers get out to a 2-1 lead in the series.
Hard,
that's not the end of the world. You can still come back.
That's literally about it.
The Los Angeles Lakers have the Grizzlies.
He's not athletic.
On the brink of elimination. Dillon Brooks picks up James. He wanted James.
He gets him.
There. James drives. James is fouled.
I'm literally trying to think what else does he do well. He doesn't even play smart. He ends most games with like 3 to 4 fouls.
All right. A historic night for LeBron. Not a good look for old Brooks. He should probably turn it up if he wants to salvage this series.
With the board and put back. He is dominating in the James popped the clutch. Got it to fall. LeBron activated. Slot cut by James. Oh! He rose up. It's not quite winter for LeBron James. The Los Angeles Lakers will advance by virtue of a 125-85 win.
You know, I poke bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40. I pride myself on, you know, what I do.
And y'all remember?
Defense.
And he wanted Kyrie jersey.
That's on the board.
And Kyrie said,
of all the outcomes and ways this entire saga could have ended,
I'm good.
Brooks found himself right in the middle of the worst one.
And now he's searching
Get
for a
outplayed
job.
every single game? Check. Have a historic night dropped right on your head? Check. Get ejected from a game at the hands of the guy you were trash talking? Check. Get sent home in the first round as the 2 seed by the old guy you went out of your way to disrespect? Check. Must we not forget, this is what Brooks wanted, and it's what he got. But you want to know what's worse than an obscure NBA player trying to be the villain? An obscure NBA player trying to be the villain, but after seeing the mess he's made, decides halfway through a playoff series that he doesn't want to be the villain anymore. Because after getting ejected from Game 3, Dillon Brooks had the audacity to say that we, the fans, are making him out to be the villain.
Media making me a villain. The fans.
like, this is the stuff that just makes you want to say, like, shut up. Like, what are you talking about?
Me. So now you think I intended to hit LeBron James in the nose.
That's right. It's our fault. It couldn't be the season-long pest crusade he went on or the direct trash talk he was doing all season. It's just merely our perception on it. But wait,
I'm glad Russ
there's more,
dropped you off
because
too, by
after
the way.
LeBron went for a historic 20-20 in Game 4 and laid the dagger right on Brooks, the man refused to talk to the media and avoided all questions and interviews after the game. How ironic. You mean this guy doesn't want to do a post-game interview? But at the end of the day, you take your L and you move on. Dillon Brooks, like countless players before him, learned the hard way that he just isn't that guy. I mean, how much worse could this possibly get?
According to a new report from Shams of The Athletic, the Grizzlies told soon-to-be free agent Dillon
I
Brooks
laughed for 10 minutes
he's not
straight
coming
when I
back to
seen
the team,
this.
quote, under any circumstances.
And I'm really not even
I
that
take
guy.
that back.
Like,
This is literally the worst case of mess around and find out I've ever seen in my life. Now, I've seen players get humiliated, sent home, benched for talking too much. But in all my days, I have never
Like,
seen a
him
player,
to
a
be out of a
starter
job? Like,
in the
it's not
NBA,
me.
get released because he was talking
he
too
makes
much
it
trash.
really hard to
Even
root
his
for. He
own
makes it
team
really
said,
hard.
all right, buddy, that's enough out of you. And it's not like Brooks was a bad player, mediocre for sure, but for the Grizzlies to go to this extent to make sure that he never cost them another playoff series again is actually insane. Here's the thing. If you are going
And he
to be
also
the bad
has a
guy,
bigger role
pest,
than-
the villain, you have
think
to
he
embrace
should.
it. And you have to
That's
accept
not
what
even
comes with
me
it.
trying to violate.
Patrick Beverly
But it's
is
like,
about
think
as
about the
unapologetic
Grizzlies
as
team.
one man can be. He's
Ja,
insufferable,
Desmond
and he'd
Bane,
have it no other way.
Jaren
Draymond
Jackson
Green is a
Jr.
jerk,
I feel like
an
he's a
instigator, and he knows it. Trae Young
Ninth,
loves
10th
being the
rotation
villain.
guy, not a
Dillon Brooks
starter.
does not. Because as a wise man once said, everybody acted
Starting
tough when
two
they're
guard?
old. Now that LeBron
That's
is
crazy.
older, he's slowed
Starting
down,
two or-
gets
he's
injured
def-
more
he's
often,
not even a
can't
three
jump
guard.
as high or run as fast. Some
He's like
players are
6'5",
beginning to think that
6'6".
LeBron is no longer on the do not trash talk list, that the door has opened back up and they can talk smack without consequence. But even in his ancient age, 20 years of mileage, and apparently not being one of the most feared players in the NBA, LeBron still managed to teach Brooks a lesson he'll never forget. Some bears just ain't worth poking. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, until next time.
Alright, look, I did most of my video. I'm talking throughout the video, but I will recap by just saying this. Like, I really don't got no issue with dude. But like I said, he just makes it real hard to root for him. Right now, I already named some people. I rock with the Pat Bevs, you know. I even rock with Draymond. They have. I feel like what they do really well. I know Draymond's older now, but he also don't do half the stuff he used to do. He still talks, but the stuff he used to do, the antics, like on court, he tone that down. Like Pat Bev, he still talks a lot, but for what he does it really well, I think. And then I saw DeJounte Murray on that list. Now him, he talks a lot of trash, but he's nice. Trae Young, his teammate, talks a lot of trash, but he's nice. Now, they had some moments where it's like, you look at them and like, what are you doing? Right? But it's only because they talk trash. I don't know. It's also low key more than just talking trash. Like if y'all remember, I think he was the person who broke Gary Payton's leg last year. Right? You see all the scuffles he gets into. I think the energy, like the personality, the tough appearance, like, come on, bro, just who. It's really the extra stuff. But man, you never want to kick nobody when they down, but they already did that. So I'm hoping he actually does get another job, and he turns things around. He starts hooping. Now we could, you hooping, catch up. All that talking, it puts you behind. Now, if you start hooping, I don't think nobody can say nothing, because you shutting them up now. But all that being said, man, this couldn't have gone any worse by Jimmy High Rollers. That's gonna end up this video. I'm not gonna say to like, comment, share, or subscribe. If y'all rock me, y'all gonna do that anyway. And I'm going.